We're getting ready to celebrate the new year.
Hello, hello. Bear with me 1 second. It's been a while. Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome to the Intentions Workshop. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jodie B, and I am a female lifestyle transformation coach. And I work with women to help them really get clear on how they want to live, what they want from their life, and not waste another minute. So I'm really excited that you're here today. It doesn't matter when you're watching this, and it doesn't matter what's going on for you at the moment that you watch this, as long as you can give yourself, I always go over, so it should be a 30-minute workshop. We're probably looking for 45. We'll see how we get on. Give yourself that time now, and commit to yourself for the next 30 to 45 minutes. So this is a guided workshop where I'm going to ask questions. You don't need to share with anyone. It's all personal to you. But I would invite you to share anything that comes up that you want to with me. So by all means, drop me a message, or you can drop me an email at healthyhabitdorsetjb@gmail.com. Or just drop me a message on the socials. Jodie B Coaching is my current social media. Bear with me a minute, darlings. I'm just going to get a different pen. The lighting is not fantastic. I apologise. Not that you're here for the lighting, I'm sure. It's very dark and it's very cold. So my boiler is not playing ball today, so I'm in my office with my heater on, having a lovely time actually, but I daren't leave to try and find some lighting. So it is what it is today. So before we start, I'm just going to give us a few minutes to either go to the toilet, get yourself a pen, get yourself a glass or something, and paper. So get yourself comfortable. Make sure that if there are people in the house, you've told them that you need to be left on your own for tell them an hour. And really indulge in what I'm saying right this minute. Okay, so hopefully you've got your pen and paper. What I'm going to ask you to do is, if you feel safe to do so, close your eyes and place one hand on your chest and one hand on your abdomen. Close your eyes and just concentrate on your breathing. Just feel your chest and your belly, maybe at this point, moving up and down. If this puts you off, or if you feel panicky by doing so, you can always think about just breathing out, and that will help you slow down your breathing. It's a great technique I use with running as well, but we're running today. Now I want you to think about filling your belly as well. So we're doing some nice belly breaths. So as you breathe in, let your chest rise, let your shoulders relax down, and your belly move outwards, and then you're breathing out, contract the abs back, shoulders down. You should slowly start to feel yourself, your body. You should feel grounded. it does help if both feet are on the floor, but just be comfortable right now. Keep breathing. Now I'm conscious that we're all busy, and I have attended workshops and different online things about kind of like the outcome is to feel more together and organized, and some of them are like over 2-3 hours, and it feels like frustrating for when you just want to kind of get yourself a little plan or a focus. Keep those eyes shut, keep breathing for me. So I don't want this to feel rushed today, but what I do want to do is just start making a step forward for you. But the reason that I do this short grounding exercise just on the breath is just to get you to stop and remember you, remember what you want, remember why you're here. Now, we don't always know what we want. We know we want something else. And hopefully today I'm going to get you to think more about that. One extreme to the other. We don't have to take our clothes off for this particular exercise, but it's optional. Okay, so when you're ready, I just want you to open your eyes. And breathe. Good stuff. Okay, so now you're going to grab a pen, and you can either write the questions or you can just free write once we get going. Entirely up to you. Sometimes it's nice to write the questions so you can come back, which is what I like to do. And there's no right or wrong to any of this, okay? Just go with what comes up. So the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what have you achieved in the last... That's the end of that. What have you achieved in the last 12 months that you are happy with? What have you achieved in the last 12 months? So I'm going to ask you just to do this without looking through your phone at memories of pictures and see what comes up for you. Another way to dig deeper is to go through your phone in the last 12 months. But I like to do this just from memory and to see what you can recall without going through like literally stage to stage of month. So we're just going to do that for a few minutes. Jot down what you can remember that you have achieved, things to feel good about. We're aiming for at least 10. Some of you that'll be really easy, for others you might struggle. So I'm just going to turn the tunes up a little bit and give you a couple of minutes to get that down. going to run for another minute. Think about what is it? What have you achieved? So just to kind of give you a couple of prompts if you're getting stuck, it could be holidays, it could be experiences, it could be shutting people out, it could be welcoming people in, it could be different ventures, cutting out something that was bad for you, doing more things that were good for you. Getting that thing done that you wanted to get done. Stuff. So if you're watching this on the replay, you can always pause me now and continue. Okay, so what I want you to do is highlight 3 of those things. Every time I go to talk, I'm coughing. I haven't coughed all day. I want you to highlight 3 of those things that really stand out for you. 3 things that you've achieved. And I want you to then think about, okay, so what were the things that made that possible? How did you act at that time? Who were you then in that moment to create that change? Obviously, I've asked you lots of questions there, but the underlying kind of question or the overarching question is, who were you in that moment of making the change? What were you feeling and how did you do that? Now, I want you to throw it onto paper what's coming up for you. There will be a common thread here. So a lot of the time when we achieve something that we wanted to achieve, there'll be a number of things, like our own personal formula, should we say, that we follow in order to make it happen. So for myself, like the things that I've achieved in the last 12 months, the reason that I made them happen is because I didn't think about it too much. Well, I didn't think about failing too much. I just made the thing the priority. I did the steps every day to work closer towards getting that thing or letting that thing go. So I made these things priority. I didn't listen to fear. And I focused on the job in hand rather than what ifs. The things that I haven't actually got done are things that I would procrastinate, fear, overthink, and not take action on. And so that is the next question is, what have you not yet achieved that you wanted to? What are the things that you know? Oh, I really want to get that done. I really want to do this. What are those things? It could be personal, professional, or a mix in between. So have a think. What is it you know has been on your to-do, your bucket list? And what is it that you're yet to achieve? So jot those things down. And I want you to elaborate on, moving forward as well. What is it that you would like to happen in the next 6 to 12 months? And just be really vulnerable with this. So let all your ideas come down. Okay, so what is it that I haven't yet achieved? I know it's one of those I need to get that done. I want to do it. And you can add to it as well, these are other things that I want to do into the future. And now, hopefully, you're starting to see the nice, simple clarity that the reason that you haven't achieved a number of things that you wanted to is because you weren't following your personal formula. So you would be going opposite. You would be sitting in the fear, feeling the fear, procrastinating, feeling. I don't know how you're feeling, but I know for me there's a lot of guilt. and judgment, things that I want to do that I'm not yet doing. I want it though. I've called myself out. So what have we not yet achieved? And what do you want? Okay. So my next question, which is layering this, which is a big favorite in my coaching world with my clients, where we come back to a lot, is without fear, what would you do? Without fear, what would you do? So us humans are a sucker for fear, and we have many limiting beliefs when it comes to our personal growth and our abilities. And these beliefs stem back from experiences we've had in our lives, whether it be a traumatic moment, you know, where we then tell ourselves a story that this is how everything is. Example, when I was younger, there was a lot of deaths in a very short amount of time in my mid-teens, and I think for years I would just always, you know, be very, very aware of death, and also, you know, my belief was always, you know, everyone's going to leave me. Everyone's going to leave me. So don't get close to anyone. And actually, you know, if I look at my relationships from my teens to my 20s, I left or moved away from people that I loved a lot. Yes. So it's very interesting, isn't it, when we know this about ourselves, which is, you know, it's okay. I have compassion for myself. We need to be compassionate and realize this isn't true. So fear of judgment, fear of failure is a common one. You know, if you're going to suddenly tell someone, especially people that you love, that actually want to go and do this, you want to go and live like this, you want to be doing that, there is that fear of judgment and not fitting in. And actually, if people don't support you, it's normally their fear of, what if you change? What if you leave me behind? I do speak to a lot of ladies who unfortunately don't have supportive partners, and sometimes feel very torn because they're not living the life that they desire, but they love their partner. And it's a very tricky one, but actually we can still live. We can live in an aligned life, should we say, without having to bring everybody into it. And again, that's something that we go into more detail in my coaching. Without fear, what would you be doing? I love that question. I absolutely love it, because then you start to question, think, what am I actually doing, and what's holding me back? And yeah, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Without fear, what would you do? Okay, so what I want you to do is just to go back to your goals / you know, what is it you'd like to achieve question, however we put that. Now, I'm sure there's more you can add to that, but again, I want you to highlight 3 of those. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start to look at how you can do these. Okay. So what normally happens is when we have a goal setting session, well, with my clients, should we say, or students, but normally clients. Obviously, it's a one-to-one. And I normally mirror back to my client to really help them dig. Why do you want this? Why do you want this? Because sometimes I think we feel like we should make some goals up. It's like, oh yeah, we'll do that. It's like, is that actually what you want to be doing? Is that actually what you want to be doing? So really getting clear on, okay, what are these 3 biggies? Looking at why you've not achieved it before. So being clear on, actually, these are the reasons. And then start looking at how. So you've got a big goal. how can we start to create success in anything? Now, whatever you want to achieve, one thing I will say is repetition is key. Okay. So if it's changing habits, or if it's learning something new, building up a skill, and even confidence as well, is repetition. Putting yourself into a position, into situations where you are practicing moving through these things. Okay. So repetition is key. How are you going to achieve the goals? So pick one of those goals for now. Let's look at it. Firstly, what stopped you in the past? And then look at, okay, how can I start to create this? Example being, and if we use kind of a health example, if you want to start eating clean and healthier, okay, for your health is your number one priority, and you've not achieved that yet, it could be that you don't actually know how to do that. So you might think you know, you might have tried some diets, but you've not actually worked with a nutrition coach who can help you understand what nutrition is and also implement that in your daily life so that you still love food, enjoy your life, so on and so on. So you would need to be clear with yourself and say, look, I don't really know what I'm doing. I've not achieved this so far because I don't really know what I'm doing. And I'm going to get a specialist who's going to help me understand it and put it be black and white. Okay, what else can I do that I know I should be doing? I'm going to drink more water. I'm going to cut back on the alcohol. I'm going to move more. These are like simple things that we know to be true, but the fine detail we might not. So then it's getting help from people. So the next question is, you know, who do I need to help me? And also, what do I need to stop doing? How can I get out of my own way? What do I need to stop doing? There was a stage, lockdown obviously happened. I split up with my husband. Just life takes over, doesn't it? And friendships change and so on. And there was a stage where I was like, I'd probably be, you know, very honest. Well, I'm going to be honest. And I'm proud to say in a way that I was lonely. I remember just saying to my really good friends, you know, I voice note, but I'm just so lonely. And I'm absolutely blessed to have people that hear and see me at this stage of my life. But, you know, I also, you know, as the coach in me knew, I wasn't going out and not being lonely. I was making damn sure I was lonely by not reaching out to anybody for a coffee, a chat, not picking up the phone to call anyone to speak to, not going on a dating site, not putting myself out there, not going swimming where I chat to people, you know, just doing everything in my power to be lonely and then being like, yeah, I'm really lonely. So, you know, one of my goals at some point, and probably still is to make more connection. And connection is a really specific one because it's that whole, you can be in a room with people and just not be seen. You can go to a party and just feel the loneliest person in the world. So I think as we get older, we start to like realize what's important. And if you're an empath like me, you'll feel everything that passes you. So being very wary of who I spend my time with has been just incredibly nourishing and amazing. So yeah, what do you need to stop doing? I mean, I have clients that kind of just go, you know, I really need to stop pressing snooze. If I want to have more energy, I need to get up and go to bed earlier. I need to stop hanging around with that person. I need to stop saying yes to this situation. I need to stop pouring a glass of wine. Yeah, there's lots, isn't there? So what does it need to stop doing? I said, who can help me? This too can help you. Now, this might be close connections. It's not necessarily getting a coach. Think about people around you that have succeeded in the thing that you want to do and get close with them. You know, obviously not in a weird way. Be honest. You know, I've done this in the past of just reaching out to people I don't know very well, but just saying, look, I can see what you're doing and I really like it. Like, can you give me some pointers, or do you mind if I ask you some questions? And, You know, people who have succeeded in life love that. They love it. So one thing that I would say in all of these reflections and looking at what you want is obviously understanding, we've understood, okay, this is why it's not happening. This is what I need to be doing. This is who can help me. This is what I need to stop doing. And then also having that accountability. So I've got an amazing friend that we check in regularly, and we check in quite often in order to sort of ask questions which are hard. I obviously ask for her to do this, but say, you know, are you doing that? Didn't you say you were going to do that? And you're like, oh, was I drunk? So good though, so good. And also someone who can follow your journey. So, you know, over the weeks and the months, you will talk about a lot of things, and they'll pick up on stuff. And if they can reflect back to you, even better. And that's what a good coach will do. So a good coach, an amazing coach, I believe I'm an amazing coach. A good coach will really hear you, really see you, and help you create a life, or create whatever it is what that coach is coaching you on. Create that for you, with you, not for you. That would be easy, wouldn't it? But you need someone who you know really hears you and sees you, and can then feel safe in order to ask you questions. Okay, not someone that's going to be like, oh well, you know, oh well. You don't want that. You want someone that's going to be wanting it for you as well. So who can help you stay accountable? There's loads of ways. I mean, I don't do things, I'm very public, obviously, on social media, but my personal stuff, my goals and stuff, I don't share a lot on social media. But you can do that. You know, you could post, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to be doing this by this point. But I prefer to share it with someone who wants success with me. So it's important to think about what is it that is your go-to that is stopping you from achieving your goals. So we can, you know, we all have the same hours in a day. We get to choose. We get to choose. But one thing that I will say is I've still got some more steps to do. And it's all a choice. It is all a choice. Everything is a choice. Everything is a choice. How you choose to live is simply your decision, and you have one chance, one step forward. It's going to get you closer to the life that you want. I speak to a lot of women who don't really know what they want, which is really hard. There are many ways in which you can dig, but that is definitely a two-way kind of thing. So if you are literally, you know, we're going through this and you just are feeling quite overwhelmed and despondent, don't worry. These things are normal, especially if you haven't touched on it. Like, I'm a bit of a, you know, I was going to say a freak. I'm a happy freak. But I love, you know, constantly sitting out, okay, am I doing this? What am I doing? Am I doing it? What am I doing? I've got two planners. I've got like one kind of monthly planner, and then I've got a day planner with reflections and affirmations and all this kind of stuff. It really helps, like mental clarity. If I choose to sit on the sofa all day, I'm going to write in my planner, sit on the sofa for 4 hours, you know, whatever it is. But I'm here to remind you to step up and be counted, and not to waste your time. Time is so precious, you know. Do not numb this time out. Seek help, seek some support, and just know that this is your choice. This is your life. This is your choice. Hopefully you've thought about at least one thing that you want to work on, change, add, do in the next 6 to 12 months. You might not know how, but it's what you want. So what I want you to do now is to write down at least one, but ideally 3, you can write more, actions that you can take in the next hour or 2 when you come off this training. So what are the things that you can do? It might be to go and chuck something out the fridge. It might be to text someone and tell them it's over. It might be to join the fitness class that's on tomorrow night. It might be to sign up for a strategy session with Jodie. It might be to book in for a lesson in guitar. It might be to reach out to your friend that you've not spoken to because you've just been feeling a little bit within yourself. It could be doing something that you know brings you joy and you've just not been doing that. What are the things? I'm going to give you a few minutes. I'm going to put the tunes back on and just let the pen flow. Well done, everyone. Okay, so I'm just going to round up now. I'm going to give you some food for thought, but I hope you enjoyed that little bit of time to yourself. So I don't want to go too much into this right now, but it's definitely something that I'm going to cover in a separate workshop, and can hopefully give you some ideas about the benefits of having that reflective practice in your day and looking inward. And you know, if you felt drawn or pulled to work with someone to help guide you, then obviously coaching as well is a great place to speed things up. You know, we can tend to keep ourselves safe. In fact, we do as humans. It's in our nature to stick with what we know, and it's so important to understand that we really, without accountability, we will keep ourselves safe. You know, until I've started sharing some of my aspirations with a close friend who's also a coach, I would just stick in my little, you know, oh, don't tell me about that, and it won't ever come true, right? So it's really sort of pulling out of yourself and thinking, okay, you know, what patterns do I run on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that are keeping me stuck and drawing me further away from what I want and keeping me where I don't want to be, okay? So as humans, we have patterns of behavior, and this is where habits come in, because it takes a long time to break a habit. And the thing is when we break a habit, as simple as, like, silly example, but most mornings for breakfast I'll have porridge with protein powder habit. It's such a habit now, I don't even think about what I'm making for breakfast. I just put the oats in and start getting the protein powder ready, because it's such a habit, I'm not thinking about it. Now, in order to change that, I have to really think. So, example, if I've got someone around for breakfast, or, you know, if Gracie wants something different, whatever, or I think, oh, come on, let's make a change, I have to really think. Oh, don't put the oats on in the morning because we're not having that today. Silly example, but true. Habits are as good or as bad as we control, and these patterns are just ingrained. And so our unconscious behavior is creating our life. You know, the whole, like, when you're driving somewhere and don't really know how you got there, everything becomes routine. And so when we start to change our behavior, example, we might, I don't know, one example, something gone away. It might be to sit and journal for 10 minutes every morning. It might be to start learning something on an online course. It might be to go to the gym or to join a fitness class. It might be to have something different in your daily eating habits. Whatever it is, it will have to be written down and you have to remind yourself, otherwise you're not going to do it. And when you do it, it's going to feel a bit weird. You're like, oh, I'm used to this. And your brain for a long time will be like, oh, this isn't really what you do. This isn't what you do. This isn't you. And that's how we are. So it's kind of like knowing that this is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be so worth it. Like, nothing worth having in life is easy. But when you've got it, wow, that feeling, you know, the feeling, and we become a master. And, you know, gosh, I'm definitely not perfect, and I'm working on myself 24/7, but I would say that I am a master of wellness. And now I feel like that's why I share it with other women, is because I can offer so many different variables to helping them feel better, live better, and be better. That this is why I offer my coaching. But we have to dig. There's so many things that we can improve on, right? So change does feel uncomfortable, but we are programmed a certain way. We need to pull away from that. So you have to make a decision, and there's that expression, isn't there? Burn the boats. But just go all in, and don't think there's another option. Okay, it has to be something that's kind of like, right, this is it. You can't be like, yeah, maybe I'll give that a go. Like, oh, I'm not sure. Because if that's whatever you're trying to do, you will not reach those goals. Period. Period. Job done. When I speak with people, I know whether or not I'm going to be coaching them for the foreseeable future, just from our 30-minute strategy session, because you don't have to know how. You don't need to feel confident, but you need to feel sure that you're all in. Are you all in? Let's do this. Okay, let's blooming do it. You need to decide, and the quickest way to do that is to go with your gut, and don't let your fear talk yourself out of it. You know what you want, and you know what you don't want. A lot of us know what we don't want more, and if you ever struggle with, like, you know, some of this stuff, which is like, what is it you want? If you write down what you don't want, you're going to want the opposite. I've done this before, and I've actually felt a bit like, God, like, I sound a little bit needy, or I sound a bit, you know, intense. That's fine. That's who I am. That's okay. So never leave a scene of a decision, which we've made some decisions today. Even if it's just one, you will have made some kind of step forward. Never leave this moment without taking action. So I've said to you, you know, write down things that you know you're going to do when you get off this call. Within the next hour, at least one thing to make you step forward and start taking some accountability for your life. You don't get, you know, you can't pause this moment. This is the, you know, tomorrow will be a different day. And I know I go on about this, but it's so important to remember. Like, we don't want to like go to our deathbed and have all these regrets. We want to be doing the thing now. So yes. So go and do the thing, start stepping forward, making some changes. If you feel you want more of this stuff, I offer a couple of options for you. So one of them is a short retreat. So this is 3 to 4 hours, depending on which one you choose. The most sort of common one at the moment, or popular one, is called Reset and Recharge. And if you want more information on that, by all means, message me. But it's basically 3 to 4 hours, depending on which one you choose. We come together, very small group of ladies. We meditate, we do some grounding work, we do some massage, we do some journaling, and we look at our values as a person, and we look at what things we want to do moving forward. And we dig into, okay, what's important to us? Because, and again, this is another subject, but going into like, what are our values? If we know what our values are, and every time we have to make a decision, we go back to, is this aligned to my values? It will help us decide, because a lot of us will say yes to something that feels very, very disaligned, and we will struggle for a long time. And there are so many of us living in lives that are not ours. So that is our recharge retreat. There's also a nourish retreat, where we look more into our wheel of life and finding balance. Again, there's meditation, grounding, stretching, and some more journaling work. And we look at nourishment for the soul and nourishment for the body. So they are my retreats. They're like 3 to 4 hours. There are full like retreats coming very soon. So if you want to know more, drop me a message. These will be away retreats for a few days, and if you would like to opt in or look at or apply to work with me on a one-to-one, my She Is Strong lifestyle transformation is a 16-week plus, depending on how long you want to stay with me, coaching program specifically for women who want more, and they are really wanting to focus on their needs now, and they realize how much they need to be aligned with their values, and living in their skin happily in order to, you know, have the best life for everyone around them. So She Is Strong is a lifestyle transformation for women wanting more, to feel amazing in your skin, happy with your own company, just living a life that you truly desire every day. So if you're ready to draw the line and commit to yourself, and you know that you want to learn ways to live your best life, my coaching is definitely for you. If you're just wanting to have a chat about that, by all means, drop me a message, and my inbox is always open. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye. I don't want to go too deep today. I think I've probably done the 40 minutes. And we're just going to sit for a few minutes, make some notes. I know it's really important. I'm going to put the music on, and then we're going to sign up. So if you want to keep jotting down, you can. If you want to sit quietly, you can. If you want to close your eyes, concentrating back to the breath work. We're going to just have 3 minutes to decompress. Right, loves, I am going to sign off in the next couple of minutes. You don't have to move, but what I do want to say is I am super passionate about helping women create a life that they love and not live a life that's not theirs. I've done so much self-development work, whether it be for myself or coaching in the last 10 years, that I just wanted to share with you a couple of quotes / affirmations that you may want to jot down or pause and listen again in a minute, because there's a lot, but I just love these. So there's more information coming about this another time, but let me just tell you these for now. Okay, so I'm going to word it as in if you were saying it. So I'm going to be the change, so you can make the changes so that your generations don't make these same decisions that maybe the past did. All I need is within me. I've got this. I can do anything that I desire. Focus goes where your energy goes. My standards are high for my life. I am responsible for my life. I will lead, I will not follow. I am raising my standards for life. Who I spend my time with, I will become. Be patient, I know my worth. Be challenged. Be challenged is a good thing, right? Proximity is power, which is who you spend your time with. This is a big one. This might be quite triggering actually, and I'm going to leave it there. So pain happens, right? We feel pain, but suffering is a choice, and that quote gets quite a lot of conversation in my groups, because pain happens. We get hurt, yeah. But suffering is a choice. So what we choose to do with that pain, we choose to do with it. Now, huge subject, and I think what I'm trying to say is I'm not saying that when something awful happens to you, if you're not over it straight away, then it's not a problem. I'm not saying that, but I think we can stay stuck after pain, and we're not serving anyone at that point. So yeah, it's a biggie. That's a whole new subject, how we interrupt that. So I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you found that useful. Please do comment on the video if I put it anywhere, or message me and let me know what you think. I really appreciate the feedback. And I look forward to seeing you in my next workshop. Much love, take care. And remember, your mind controls your whole life. So change your mind and change your life. Bye for now.